Hello, welcome to all viewers to Mega Virtual channel. If you are new to this channel, we welcome you once again, and we recommend that you subscribe to this channel and share with your friends. In today's lesson, I'm just going to present to you two ratio problems. I'm going to take you through step by step. I will recommend that you pause each slide to read the question carefully so that you understand the context of the questions. Problem 1. Joseph collected 60% more marbles than Michael. Andrew collected 35% fewer marbles than Joseph. Joseph and Michael gave Andrew some marbles in the ratio 3:1. Andrew had 1.5 times as many marbles as he had at first. Given that Joseph had 306 more marbles than Michael, in the end, how many marbles did Joseph give Andrew? So as you see, this is really a wordy question, and if you don't take time to really read to understand, you might find yourself wondering. So how do we start this? If you look at the first statement, we are comparing the share of Joseph's to Michael's, and Michael is the reference point. So Michael is the 100% and Joseph collected 60% more. So let's put that information down. So comparing Joseph and Michael, we have 160% and 100%. Now on the second line, this time Andrew collected 35% fewer marbles than Joseph. Now Joseph is the reference point. So Joseph is now 100% because we are comparing Joseph's share with Andrew. So Joseph is now going to be 100% and Andrew is going to be 35% less. So that also gives us 100% for Joseph and Andrew 65%. That's from the first two statements. Now, because we are not sure of the exact amount of marbles for each of them, we're going to use their percentages. So let's simplify these percentages, and when you simplify the percentages, it gives us the share of marbles for each of them, but they're going to be in multiples, because whatever, if you have 10, it doesn't mean they have exactly 10. It could be multiples of 10, because the ratio setup is going to be in terms of multiples. So if we simplify the first section, Joseph and Michael, we're going to have 8x and 5x. That is 8 lot of marbles and 5 lot of marbles, or 8 units and 5 units, because they are in multiples. So that's the first section. If you come to the second section, if you simplify, you're going to have 20x and 13x. And as you can see, you have two sections. First section comparing Joseph and Michael. Second section, Joseph and Andrew. And if you remember, it's the same quantity that Joseph had is what is compared with Andrew here. So which means that they should have the same marble. Joseph should have the same compared to Andrew, or Michael should be exactly the same. Because we're comparing them in different contexts, that is why we have 20x here and 8x. So in ratio, what happens is that we need to try and make Joseph's share be the same. And in doing that, we find the LCM of 20 and 8. And LCM 20 and 8 will give you 40. So which means we need to try and create this 40x and create this one also 40x. And to do that, this section all should be multiplied by 5. So we have 40x is to 25x. When you come to this section, you multiply by 2. 40x and 26x. So you can now know exactly what they had in multiples. So 40x for Joseph, 25x for Michael, and 26x for Andrew. In this case, we have everything set up for us. So that's what they had before. Right. Now, this is what Andrew had before. And it says that Joseph and Michael gave Andrew some marbles in the ratio 3:1. So when they've given Andrew some marbles, Andrew now had 1.5 times as many marbles as he had before. So Andrew is going to have extra than 26. So we work out the new marbles for Andrew. It's 26x times 1.5. So now the new marbles for Andrew is 39x. Now 39x, we need to work out how much did Andrew receive from Joseph and Michael, because Andrew had 26 before, now have 39. So Andrew receives 13x. That's the difference between what he had before and what he has now. This 13x is from Joseph and Michael, and they also contributed 13x based upon the ratio. So Joseph gave 3 parts of 13x and Michael gave 1 part of 13x. So let's use this ratio to see the contribution from Joseph and Michael. So Joseph gave a 3/4, and Michael gave a quarter. So 3/4 of 13x and Michael called 13x. That works out to be 9.75x for Joseph, and Michael is 3.25x. So we now need to work out what Joseph and Michael will have after they've given these shares to Andrew. So we take away 9.75 from 40x, then 3.25x from 25x. So this is now the share of Joseph, the share of Michael. Now let's go to this section. Now Joseph had 306 more than marbles. So this unit or quantity is 306 more than the share of Michael. So let's work out the difference between these two. So that's the 8.5x that causes what the extra for Joseph. So these two should be used to work out what x is. So we can now say 8.5x is equal to 306. We can now work out for x, and x gives us 36. If x is 36, then to find out how much Joseph gave to Andrew, we know Joseph gave 9.75x and x is 36. All we need to do is to multiply 9.75 by 36, and that gives us 351 marbles. It's quite a lengthy question. So Joseph gave 351 marbles to Andrew. So take your time and go through it. I hope you will be able to follow the steps that I've used so far. Now let's look at problem 2. Pause the video and also read. Andrew designed a game using square and triangular cards. Some of the cards are blue and all the other cards are red. The ratio of the number of red cards to the blue cards is 2 to 5. The ratio of the number of red triangular cards to red square cards is 1:3. The ratio of the number of blue triangular cards to red square cards is 2:3. What fraction will represent all the triangular cards? Right, this is also a lengthy problem, but you can break it down. So the easy way around this is that instead of trying to use trial and improvement to use a number to work out, just work with the ratio. So first set the ratio up. Red cards to blue cards, set the ratio up. Red card to blue cards is 2 to 5. Now let's convert all the ratio into proportion, that is into fraction. Red card is 2 parts and blue is 5 parts, so total is 7 parts. Convert them into proportion, so that will be 2/7 for the red and 5/7 for the blue. So that's the red and blue, irrespective of whether triangular or square. Then let's go to red triangular to red square. Convert it also into proportion, 1/4, 3/4. Now remember, this is all the red. In terms of the total of red is 2/7, but this is only comparing triangular red to square red. Let's do the same for blue. Convert into proportional fraction. This is what you have. Now if you want to work out the triangular cards, we could have triangular cards which are blue and triangular cards which are red. So to know the exact total of the red triangles, we need to work out the red triangles out of the total of all the red, and also the blue triangles out of all the blue. So all we need to do is to work out the red triangles, which is a quarter of the total of 2 over 7. So the red triangles will be 1 over 14 in simplest form. Then we do the same for the blue. So that's 2/5 of 5 over 7, and in simplest form is 2 over 7. So to know the total of triangles or triangular cards, add 1 over 14 to 2 over 7. And that gives us 5 over 14. So the fraction of the triangular cards is 5 over 14. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and share with your friends.